Hi guys, I just wanted to let you know, I'm doing well. Um, I just, literally, as of last month, I lost my job over at the, Canterbury School. So I've been looking for a job here in, New Milford. I'm trying to stay local because, I rely solely on, like, Uber, um, the ride sharing app, and, my family and public transportation for rides, and because I don't drive myself, it's not that I can't or that I don't want to. It's more to do with hand-eye coordination because of my hearing impairment. I wear hearing aids, and even though I wear hearing aids, the coordination, my hand-eye coordination has always been a little off. Um, So anyway, I've been busy looking for a job. I was super busy from during the holidays and stuff like that this past year at the school, and then just last month they just decided that they wanted to let me go. There wasn't enough work available. And plus I had some performance issues with them, and issues listening to the supervisor, and the manager on duty. I reacted in ways I shouldn't have, and there were times I was working with really noisy machinery, and there are sometimes background noises that I don't always hear my supervisor or whoever the manager is on duty that day. And it's not that I'm ignoring people. I don't want people to think that I'm purposely ignoring them. It's more like sometimes I'm not always aware of what I should be listening for. Anyway, so I'm currently in between jobs. I'm looking, um, like doing the best that I can and looking for a job and all that. Meanwhile, I'm, in between, I'm taking it easy. I'm, relaxing every so often to, take a break and watch TV and stuff like that. But for the most part, I'm trying to look for a job. I'm actively going to interviews. I'm in general, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm, doing what I can, and it is tough when when one has to stay as local as possible because their family won't are not able to travel that far. I shouldn't say they won't travel far. It's not that they won't. It's more like they aren't able to. Um, because I live with two senior citizens that have their their own health issues. Um, and I'm doing my best to be as kind to them and myself as possible. I don't want to put too much stress on myself either, on where I have to go for a job and stuff. So I'm trying my best to stay as local as possible. Um, and pretty much I think that's as much of a catch up as I can do. Um, I think I've mentioned this before, but I'll say it again. Um, for those of you that haven't been able to catch it, I would advise watching Elvis, the movie with Tom Hanks and Austin Butler. It's a really good movie. It's a very respectful, at least in my opinion, it's a very respectful and honorable tribute to the late great Elvis Presley. and Baz Luhrmann made the movie um, so that it fits all ages. They fit in the vintage, the old school. Um, Austin sang, as much as he could for the movie. He only did so much. There was some, of course, some lip syncing, but that's to be expected because Austin could only work his voice, work his voice for, in it, work the Elvis voice, so long. But he did the best that he could, and I have to say he did a very good job. And as I also said, they did a very respectful and honorable tribute to him. They tried to show Elvis in a way that was respectful to Priscilla and Lisa Marie when she was still around, and of course Riley and any of Elvis's other grandchildren. They try to make it as respectful and honorable for them. They want them. I think Baz Luhrmann and his teams wanted wanted to make sure they could look back. They could watch the movie and think, oh yeah, that's my father, my grandfather, even in future Presley generations, great grandchildren, um, can look back and think, oh, that's my grandfather. This is what he had to deal with. This is what he had to go through. This is how he got a start. You know, it's a respectful tribute, a respectful light. Um, they probably got parts in the movie inaccurately, but that's because I think Baz Luhrmann was trying to make sure that he and his creative team um, wrote the story in such a way that was once again respectful, because you're talking about a man who was born in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. He was alive during those decades, and there was it was a time when one was much more respectful and um I'm trying to think of the right word here, but I guess you could say blanketed or something. Like they weren't Elvis wasn't really um out and about too much. It was like he wasn't really um he knew what he was getting into. He knew what was going on. He knew about the music world. He knew everything there was to know about the industry he was exploring. But I don't think he really knew what he was getting into until the 50s. Well, when he was in his 20s, which is when was his career really started to take off. But he grew up in a respectful time, a generation when children respected their parents, and they were taught to be respectful to their elders, to their parents, to their grandparents, and they made sure to make that plain. And even in his later years, even in the 60s and 70s, Elvis tried to be as respectful to his father as possible. There were times that he went off on him, of course, but that's to be expected. Fathers and sons, like mothers and daughters, don't always have the best relationship. but that, Elvis was very close to his father, though. I know that. I've seen that in the movie. He was closer to his father than most men are with their own fathers. Um, so there was of course a lot of respect shown between Elvis and his mom and dad. He loved them very much. He cared for them very much, of course. Um, as I said, they were trying to paint that picture as vividly as possible, and they also tried to show what Elvis was like throughout the years. Um, they tried not to make the whole drug issues that Elvis had too plain. They only showed it towards the end. His anger issues, his drug issues, his everything that happened. That spiral. Had him spiraling out of control. They try to make that um more behind the scenes and not um the most obvious thing in the world. Um, but they did make it plain towards the end. And once again, I have to say that it was, as I mentioned, a very respectful, colorful, of course, tribute. And I want to also say once again, I'm sorry for not being on quite so much. Um, because until 1 month ago, I was busy as a bee, and now I have far too much time on my hands, and I'm gonna be doing some walks, of course, in between looking for a job. I'm trying to, of course, continue to lose the weight and all that. Um, I I love my public as much as possible, and I hope you guys are doing well, staying hydrated, especially where there's heat. Like hot, humid heat, and even dry heat. Stay as hydrated as possible, go out as much as you can, and stay safe. Bye.